While birding is a hobby focused on finding birds in the wild, there's a place where you can see some species you would never be able to find without some serious traveling. That place is the zoo. We went to the Milwaukee County Zoo to see what species of birds they have there and show you what to expect if you decide to visit. As soon as we entered the zoo, we saw an interesting and beautiful bird that roams free.
Peacock. Like, you walk in the door, bam, free roaming peacock right there. We got a peacock, and you can find peacocks at a lot of different zoos because they're very hardy. They can kind of just roam around. They don't need a lot of care necessarily, and it adds an element of feeling like anything can happen at the zoo. You know, if you're walking around, this beautiful bird just comes up to you, you're gonna be like, wow, anything can happen here at this place. This gorgeous bird just walked right up to me. So a lot of zoos have them. They're extravagant to look at, especially when you get to like zoom up close on the eye and the face and all the colors. So really awesome bird we're able to see here at the zoo.
Our next stop was the place that would have the most birds, the aviary. We're at the Milwaukee County Zoo, and we are about to check out one of my favorite exhibits, the aviary. There are some incredible birds here that you can only see when at the zoo because of rarity or just because of where they live in the world. So we're going to take a look at the aviary here and see what exactly lives in it and show you around the place if you ever want to come here yourself. Before even getting into the building, we already encountered a bird exhibit. Before even getting into the actual aviary part, you run into some flamingos outside that chill out in the water, which is pretty cool. There's two different species here. There's Chilean and American flamingos. The American flamingos are a little bit brighter. The Chilean flamingos are a little bit more pale, but both are really interesting birds. It's always special to see flamingos. They're so elegant and unique looking. After taking a look at the flamingos, we entered the building where there is usually a Guam kingfisher, one of the rarest birds in the world. But sadly, on this day, the enclosure was being renovated. From there, we moved on to the zoo's penguin exhibit, with two different types inhabiting the enclosure.
Penguins are always a fan favorite, so there's a couple different places you can see penguins here. There's actually one near the front of the zoo when you walk in, and then in the aviary they have this really nice enclosure. It's fun to watch them slide up onto the rocks, so a lot of personality in the penguins.
Next, we moved to the open air exhibit, in which the birds can fly right over your head.
Always love this open interactive exhibit where you're just kind of in it. There's even a place where the birds can go underwater and you can see them go under. You are definitely in danger of getting pooped on though. But it's awesome to just kind of feel like you're in it and there's all these birds flying around. It's a little more special than just kind of watching where you're separated from the birds.
Here, we saw ibises and herons, as well as some smaller birds as well. Superb starling up there. It is superb. After taking our time in this exhibit, we eventually moved on to some that were a bit more compartmentalized. That open air exhibit is so cool. We're about to get into the more closed exhibits that have some really unique species. They have interesting little wires on the cages of the exhibit, so I think it's going to be hard to film, but we'll see what we can do. We went from enclosure to enclosure, viewing the numerous birds and habitats inside.
Sunbittern is really cool. This one's just chilling, but if they open their wings, they have some incredible color. I didn't even realize our zoo had one, so that's cool. And there's also a bleeding heart dove over here, which has kind of looks like it got shot in the chest, so that's another really beautiful one. We have a lot of cool species at the zoo here.
Checking out these nice forested exhibits, there's actually some pekin robins that are flying around in this one. The foliage is all really nicely displayed too, and a lot of the plants look like they're real. So pretty solid habitats for some of these little birds, and it's a great opportunity to see stuff that you're never going to see unless you travel outside of the country. As we progressed through the aviary, we also went through different themes in the enclosures.
So we're in the African savanna, small little section here, and then we're going to head to the shoreline through here. These guys remind me of the starlings. They do look very mousy.
We're at the shoreline, and these are a lot of birds that you can actually find in the United States. So right off the bat, seeing black-necked stilts, buffleheads, American avocets, really nice birds that you can find not in your backyard, but in your state probably if you live in the U.S. So beautiful backdrop here, nice habitat for these birds too. Pleasure to see them. In addition to the live birds, infographics provided some entertainment as well. So I'm 6'4" and probably not as big of a wingspan as the albatross. So that's got a little bit of wingspan. I mean, let's try the condor. Close to the condor. It's pretty crazy how big some of these birds can be. That they can.
You
still
probably got
fly.
the penguin beat though.
I've got the penguin, barn swallow.
Got him.
Right here we got the bee hummingbird. I believe the smallest bird in the world. 3-inch wingspan. Look at that little guy.
Got him.
That's very cool.
We went through a few more exhibits, which included some really cool birds, such as a lapwing and a tawny frogmouth. Having gone through the aviary building, there was still a small outdoor portion to see as well.
So that was the aviary building. There's one more section of the aviary though that we're going to see, and that's where they have the whooping cranes. The whooping crane, one of the rarest birds in the United States, of course. Great story about how they came back from the brink of extinction, and hopefully we're about to get a look at one right now.
We got some bonus southern screamers here. We just enjoyed the whooping cranes. That a nice little infographic about them. So that kind of wraps up our birds here. We're going to check out the penguins at the entrance when we leave.
Having officially gone through the aviary, we walked around the rest of the zoo looking at other animals. In the process, we spotted more free-roaming Indian peafowl, as well as some wild birds that chose to spend their time at the zoo.
In addition to the birds that are supposed to be at the zoo, there's also a bunch of wild birds too. So house sparrows, starlings, grackles have been stealing food from the bear exhibit. Now the bear just woke up, so we'll see how that plays out. But it always pays to listen and observe other species too, even ones that aren't supposed to be at the zoo.
Eventually, we ended up at the first and last exhibit that people see at the Milwaukee County Zoo, which just happens to be more birds.
This is our last stop here at the zoo, but it's actually one of the first things you see when you walk in. It's the humboldt penguin. So they're a species that lives on the western shores of South America, and they're a really neat species to see. Warm weather penguins, you usually think of them as more cold weather, but a really beautiful way to open or close your zoo experience seeing the penguins.
Zoos provide an opportunity to see animals that you may never get the chance to find otherwise. The Milwaukee County Zoo is no exception, with some amazing birds to see inside of the buildings, and wild birds to see roaming the grounds. If you're ever in Milwaukee and need something to do, give this zoo a look, and if you liked this video, take a look at one of our other birding videos. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.